Welcome to Origin Stories. I'm RD.
I'm Parrot.
We're telling stories behind the digital art revolution
Each week we interview top artists.
and live stream with the community.
Let's go. Today is tomorrow's origin story.
We're back.
We're back again.
We're back.
It's been a minute since we've done a live stream. This is I think the longest we've ever gone without doing a live stream.
We got sick, man. We traveled and we got sick.
Exactly.
And now we're healthy and we're back with two amazing people with us.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, here we are. We are with Odious today and Jonathan Wolfe. Two longtime friends of Roger and I and of the show.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Excited to be
Big
back.
fan of the show. Second time, caller. This is cool.
It's only your second time on the show?
I think so. We did the one call with the Parodius Jonathan
Yeah.
Nifty, I think.
Yeah, with
I
Ashley.
think that's it.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's been more than that, though. It does feel like that. And speaking of longtime Origin Stories fan, Justin in the comments, immediately sick gang. I feel like Justin's right here with us. Got to meet Justin for the first time in NYC before going down with COVID, and I think he avoided it. So,
Nice.
up there.
Lucky escape.
Yes. So, big day. I mean, you guys are working on something pretty monumental. I was commenting off air just before this how much I appreciated the artworks that you shared thus far. I think they're like, I don't know, high effort. Caused me in each case to really get in there and take a look at several different aspects of each artwork. So, really like where you guys are going with it. And I'll be honest, I don't know all the way. Like, I don't know all the info, all the details. So I'm just as excited as maybe anybody else to get in there and dig in.
Yeah. So, we're doing the Icons project with 101 NFT. And so a few months ago, they hit us up and they said, hey, we're working with these iconic estates. Would you guys want to be the artists that bring them into the NFT space? And we were like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And then also we were like, yeah, we got to work with our friends too, which is, us three. So
Exactly. We're back at it.
Let's do it.
We somehow always manage to find each other, no matter what project we're on.
Yeah. That made saying yes to the project super easy. Just like an excuse to hang out again and talk a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been dope, man.
Yeah.
And it's been in the works for a long, long time as well. Like since end of July, we've been working
Yeah,
on
about
this.
there.
Yeah.
End of June for me.
Oh, for real?
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, we did the Parodius Jonathan project.
What a great name.
Oh my god. None of us, by the way, know how that name even happened.
That is such a funny story.
Right?
Yeah.
I think I jokingly sent that to Nifty,
Yeah.
and then
They ran
They
with
took
it.
it
the
around with
drop
it.
goes
Yeah.
live, and it's on the front page of Nifty, and I'm like, all right.
And it sounded like CSNBC or something like that.
Yes.
Our art is on the national news, and it says Parodius Jonathan underneath it. We were like, oh,
That's so
what do
funny.
we
That's-
do?
That's the name you come up with when you don't know what to call it. You just mash everyone's name together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a boy band.
Yeah.
It works.
Totally.
It works.
It does, and now it's who can forget
Iconic.
that name?
Yeah.
Us. We can't.
So what's the trio's name? Have you updated it for the three of you?
Oh yeah.
Parodius
Ooh.
Jana.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Parodius Wolf.
Parodius
there we
Wolfe.
go.
I like that.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
I think you just did it. I think that's it.
Parodius
I like it.
Wolfe. Yeah.
I like
It's got a
that
ring
too.
to it.
It does. It does have a ring to it. Yeah. So we been working on this project for a few months, and it's been really fun. Jeff and Jacob from 101 are such a pleasure to work with. Roger, I think you met Jeff before, right?
Jeff.
Hood. You guys have definitely been at the same event, so I'll make sure to introduce you guys if you have not been introduced yet in the future.
It might just be a case. It might just be a case of me not knowing last name and like, oh, that's Jeff. You know what I mean? So I'll do the research after the fact.
For sure. So yeah, we've been working on this for a few months. It's been like I think a trip for all of us to like work with these official estates. It's kind of crazy. Just because it's like, these things that we've read about in history books growing up, and these people that have affected society so much at such a crazy level. Household names, basically. 100%.
Yeah. It's been nice to not have any like chains on our creative freedom. We can just do whatever we want, and the estates have been cool with it. Yeah, so dope.
Should I showcase some of the art?
Do it. Bring it. I was going to ask the question, how were the exact pairings made? Like, how were the choices made as to what each of you did and dove into?
Let's see. Well, Alejandro from NFT Now hit me up in June and was like, hey, you should check out 101. They want to work with you guys on something. And they're like with Jonathan and Odious, and and Alejandro was like, parrots fly and the Wright brothers fly. Maybe you could make some cool art out of that. And I was like, cool, yeah, that sounds great. And then almost immediately in my head, I had like this vision of an idea for what the art could be, And so as soon as they brought it up, I pretty much was like, yeah, I'll do the Wright brothers. That sounds great. And then I'm not sure about Odious and Jonathan.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I think it's Medved from 101. He reached out saying that my name's been like thrown around in conversation about this like upcoming project with Charlie Chaplin, and then he connected me. We got talking to 101, and yeah, the rest is history, really. I took it on. I was like, I can't believe I've been asked to do this, bring in one of these legends. And then when we were thrown into like the group chat together and to find these guys sitting there again, I was just like, yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah, every piece seemed to fit us really well. Like we could find something that we could really relate to with it. I got Einstein. I remember I was the last artist, I think, to get picked. And you guys approached me and asked like, oh, are you into Einstein? Like, could you do a piece about him? And like, I kind of freaked out a bit. Like, I love Einstein, so perfect fit for me. I know on the spaces we did yesterday, we talked about this a lot, but I remember growing up, and my parents had this photo wall, and it was just all family photos. And then for some reason, they only had one picture of someone who wasn't in the family, and it was the picture of Einstein with his tongue out. And I was really young, so I didn't I didn't know about him yet. So I just assumed he was like my uncle or something like that. So I thought that was like the perfect fit. Like I have all these memories. Like my dad, like it's so weird. He has like a collection of Einstein t-shirts, and it's just like all these like little memories. So yeah, when I was approached to do Einstein, it was a perfect fit.
There it is.
Yeah,
it is.
I love the eyebrow. I love the eyebrow so much. It caught me. It brought me in. Your eyebrow, Odious. I think the colors and how it resembles some of your artwork, but not. I don't know. There's magic there. And then Parrot, the paper airplanes in the air. Like those are the most memorable aspects to me of each of these artworks. I think. I don't know. They just stand up so well to the character and the artist. They're really amazing, guys.
Cool. Thank you,
Roger.
That's funny you mentioned the eyebrow because like it's such a small thing, but that was such a big challenge. I wanted Einstein to be recognizable, but I also wanted him to be in my style. Mm-hmm. So like originally he was like all blocky, and it just looked so robotic and odd. So I decided to render him a bit more realistic, but had to sneak in my blocks somewhere, you know. So
Yeah.
a little hint in the eyebrows and the mustache, you know.
Yeah,
So-
it's nice on the eyes, and it looks really fun as well.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Got Defaced up in here. Yo, fam, what's going on? Defaced with his own release with Misan Hariman. The pronunciation may be off, but that's coming tomorrow. Shout out
Yeah,
to
I can't
Face.
wait for
That's Starman.
Wonderful.
Deface doing big things.
Oh yeah.
Always. Oh, I still have a cough.
Sorry, man.
Are you
Cough
guys
it out
going to-
periodically.
You guys going to Miami? Art Basel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Odious?
Nah, I'm biting the FOMO bullet this time around. I'm just leaving it, and I'm just gonna go traveling next year. I've made my mind up, but it's gonna be a horrendous
we
week.
got time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, here's mine for the Wright brothers. Pretty self-explanatory. Two young bros in their childhood thinking about and dreaming about flight. And this is kind of like, the representation of their imagination and childlike dreams that they accomplished in their life.
Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite pieces by you.
Really?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Aw.
very dreamy. You've captured the essence of like a dreamland very
Yeah.
well.
Thanks, dudes.
Yeah. I love that you didn't. How do I say it? Like I had an idea of what I thought you would do because the Wright brothers and airplanes. I figured there'd be an airplane somewhere, but the fact that you use paper airplanes, it still has the same meaning and symbolism, but it's a lot more fun and it kind of adds to the dreamlike aspect, especially because the airplanes are different sizes, so it's like kind of unrealistic. So it's hazy. It looks like a dream.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like they're in their like concepting phase, and they're just like trying out all these different airplanes until one lands.
Right.
Yeah.
How would you do that with like actual airplanes? Like that would be hard to render,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like we were talking about earlier, the States really gave us a lot of freedom to, I think as long as there wasn't anything, wasn't a bunch of like naked people or like violence, it would have been fine. So the original image I had in my head was like these two young brothers in a field somewhere, and like one of them's like floating and it's like all magical. So I kind of like started putting that together, and then felt like it was like missing something, and so just like kept playing with it, and then I was like, paper airplanes, and it just kind of hit me, and I started putting them in the scene, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the sauce.
That's the sauce.
That's the sauce.
Yep, secret sauce.
It's so good because then you can see the wind. You can see the wind that you can't feel. I don't know. It takes on a whole different vibe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can actually capture like motion in a still image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of like, probably took me a few hours to position the airplanes in different ways. So like, I don't know if there's really any method to that madness, but it was just like, what about this one here and this one here, and what if it's going this way and this one's this size and going this way? It was just a lot of kind of experimentation to figure out, I guess, the composition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. You sent progress photos like every couple hours, like too many airplanes, not enough airplanes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Got to a great place.
Definitely.
I just need to send this link to someone real quick. Carry on.
Do it. So guys, what are give the people the details, the official details, when available, how long, etc.
Okay, so OpenSea in 45 minutes from now, I think.
Wow.
I believe.
Yeah.
There'll be 250 editions of each piece, and they're all going to be priced at 0.3 ETH.
Right. Coming up.
Yeah.
This is very timely. We're gonna open this up all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this will finish just as that goes live.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we could do the New Year's countdown. We drop the ball together.
I love it. And it's cool. We get to work with the actual estates, and a good portion of the proceeds will be going to the estates, and then that goes towards charity as well. So it's kind of cool. We can help out in that way as well while working with these incredible estates. So it's a joy.
Yeah, it's been interesting, like learning about the actual estates and stuff, and like what they do, like to continue the legacy of the people who are obviously dead now. and so I was like, researching the Wright brothers estate, and they do like funds and grants and like scholarships to preserve aviation related studies and aviation history. And they have a flight museum and like all this cool stuff. So and it's all like, self-funded through merch. You can actually buy an original life-size like 1-to-1 replica of the Wright brothers airplane.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. We'll have to get one.
Yeah. And like different like iterations of it too. So you could buy like the one from 1903 or 1904, 1905, which was the year they actually took flight. Wow. So I don't know why you'd want to buy one that like doesn't work. If you do buy one, I'd recommend the 1905 one.
Okay.
But I don't know how much it costs. You have to contact them to like do that. But I think that's
my favorite model.
Yeah, but it's
we'll all pitch in and grab one.
Yeah. Well,
the Parodius Wolfe vault begins with the Wright brothers airplane replica.
Yeah.
We'll set it down. We'll fractionalize it.
Yeah. Along with a piece of the Constitution.
Yeah. I was just thinking that.
Me too. We can ship it to Odious, and he can come to Art Basel finally.
Oh,
let's
go. Fly him in.
Yeah.
Odious, I'd love to hear you talk about your piece more.
Okay, so I got some notes here.
Wow.
So I was speaking to like a few of my collectors, and there was one quote that like we all like researched together, and it was Charlie Chaplin was a clown who wasn't just crying behind the face paint, but screaming his way for an absurdly bleak existence. I feel my work has many details that are like tiny voices, but combined they become a scream. And the fact that he was a silent actor by nature, and I'm quite quiet, quite humble, I feel like that's another interesting angle. So there's all these different similarities that I found through research that I never knew before. It just makes me feel that much closer to the piece. I feel my art speaks for me. I can convey so much more than I can express verbally. I've never been good at like talking on the spot. I freeze up, and I type more poetically than I speak. That's where you find like little messages, little poems, Easter eggs hidden around the piece. So you can go on a little adventure. The more you look, the more you find. It becomes like a little treasure hunt for the viewer, rewarding them for indulging themselves in my art. So I spoke with a collector, and they mentioned that I can make a huge impact in people's lives without saying a word. And much like Charlie, he did that with his silent films. So there's all these connections, and I definitely see myself, but even though I'm using Charlie in the role of the tramp, I definitely see myself here.
That's a perfect match. You guys have a lot of comments. I love what you mentioned about how you hide details. I really like to do that with my work as well. And it's kind of like you're rewarding the viewer in a way. Like, you could look at the piece really quickly and get the idea, and stop and really pay attention to it. You get rewarded with these little details. That's like one of my favorite things about art.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I agree. Something catches you and brings you in, and that next layer of the experience is incredibly rewarding.
Yeah. I said it last time. My art's like a good-looking Venus flytrap, like a digital Venus flytrap, where like it's so colorful. It looks very like childish, friendly, vibrant, and then the more you look, the darker it gets. But at that point, you're like sucked in.
Yeah, Yeah,
I don't want to get trapped.
Yeah, you can't come out.
Yeah. I like all the Easter eggs in yours, Odious. I was zooming into it the other day and trying to figure out what all the little like the symbolisms mean.
Yeah, yeah. What about your piece, Parrot? Let's break that down a little bit.
Break down my piece. Well,
Yeah,
I feel like it's pretty straightforward, honestly.
break down the process.
The process of
Yeah, that'd be cool.
like how it was made.
Yeah. Your artistic process.
You mean like technically, like what, like the programs and stuff?
Yeah, just everything.
I want it all.
Okay.
Get in there,
Hear it
man.
all, Barrett.
All right, hold on. Let me screen share again.
I want a tutorial.
All right. So, when the Wright brothers, when I was approached with that with the concept for this project, I was trying to in my head think of the best way to represent their life and their accomplishments, and then also like figure out a way to relate that to myself and I guess like our community and what we're doing at large. So and I didn't really want to use an actual airplane because I couldn't really think of like how that would like be an emotional object, I guess, if that makes sense.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's a really good idea.
like it, it can. I guess you could make an airplane emotional and stuff, but it just kind of seemed like that's not who I am as an artist. I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I'm much more of a surrealist than a realist, I think, when it comes to my art.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, I had kind of this vision in my head of them as kids because I don't know why I feel like wanting to fly is something we all think about as kids, and it's like you look up and see birds, and maybe you watch Superman or some superheroes on TV, and you're like, wow, flying would be awesome. And then you get older and you realize you're like, oh, I'll probably like never be able to fly outside an airplane or something.
Right.
And so then I was kind of like sitting with that feeling for a while and kind of thinking about like all the things that like inspire you and all these like crazy ideas you have as a kid. And but most of the time, either physically, biologically, you can't do things, or society and I guess rational thought, consensus thought of society kind of shuts that down.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, sure, I wanted to fly, but I think by the time I was like 11 or 12 or something is when I realized I wanted to be a creative person my whole life. And I started, drawing at a young age, and I was like, I'm going to make comic books. I think when I was like in third, fourth, and fifth grade, I was like drawing comic books in class and stuff like that. And then I remember going to like an actual art class in middle school and seeing, and I was like always like decent at drawing, like I think better than average for my age, but not like a prodigy or anything like that. And I would go to, is that Siri? I went to like at the actual art classes in middle school and stuff, and I saw all these kids who were like way technically better than me at drawing, where they could draw like photo references and they knew how to shade real nice and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, I can't be an artist. There's like people way better than me at art. and then here I am, 10, 15 years later, full-time artist, which is kind of cool. And I feel like that's kind of what I wanted to put into this piece is like being able to retain and hold on to those childlike dreams and so that state of wonder of like making the seemingly impossible possible. And I feel like all together as a community, we're kind of doing that right now for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people across the world making, all these people who had 9-to-5 jobs, and, me who was doing Uber Eats for like years before this, just like sitting in my car being like, I know my time's more valuable than sitting in traffic all day. And I feel like, we're doing that on such a crazy scale now, and we're all little pieces of that dream that we're like weaving in real time, and making people's childhood dreams come true, bro.
Yeah. That was always my dream. Like that was like my biggest dream since I was like a child, to be an artist. Like, and the fact that we were so young, and because of NFTs, that made it possible to be an artist full time. Like, absolutely incredible. Parrot, I really love what you said about why you picked airplanes or paper airplanes instead of real ones. Because, when was the last time you used a paper airplane? Like, I don't know, elementary school. Like, it's very playful and fun. And I think that's something that kind of ties all the work in this drop together. I mean, albeit odious, yours is a scary Venus flytrap. Will that trap you in? But your piece is still very colorful. It's inviting. And then I think same with my piece. It's very colorful and fun. So that's really cool that we all had our own ideas of what to do, but it still kind of really came together.
Yeah, it's quite cohesive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jasty's in here as well. Fam.
What's up, Jasty?
All three of these pieces are so good. Let's go, Jasty.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you. DeFace says Art Basel. Is DeFace coming to Art Basel?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah,
I think he might have to go.
We're pretty excited about that.
Damn.
Guys, I don't have an artwork that I created myself to share, but can I talk about another one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to.
Can we, Parrot, could you mind pulling up? It's like the most recent thread on Artifacts Project, but I want to talk about Lorona.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So recently had the opportunity to, well, I mean, this has been in the works for quite some time, right? But prior to that, like, kind of fell into Lorona's boys, and I've commented before, but the juxtaposition between simplicity and complexity that she has going on within those boys. You talk about zoomability and getting just encapsulated into something. Almost every single one does that because of the different materials used, textures used, colors used. But this process right here, and then, so that's the one of one. But then if you go to, I guess it's the reveal, huh?
I don't know. I just click the first thing.
No, this is fine. This is fine. This is
Looking
good.
away.
But when you get to, so it's like the one of one, and then that's the bridge shot that kind of ties the one of one to the ultimate 3D.
Wow.
But this, so this 3D boy, how that all came to be, and watching, behind the scenes, being able to be a fly on the wall and see her collaborate with Dirk. It was this ultimate blend of fine art aesthetic and 3D optimization. Yeah, that's the shot. That's the one that's stuck in my brain. But it was a long process to get there, and I think it was two individuals who really took a lot of pride in each of their crafts and what they were about, colliding in a really, really positive manner, and just going back and forth and iterating something forward. And I'm really I'm just in love with where it all came out. That this is like the first, metaverse optimized boy. I don't know. So this is this really, really got finalized yesterday after a really long road of it being very close, but like productively iterated forward. So I'm just over the moon about where this all ended up.
Yeah, I never knew the head and the body was separated, because obviously you see it from a 2D perspective.
Oh yeah.
And the like chin covers it, but in this one you can see the detachment there.
Yeah, I absolutely love like how little you have to put for, like how little detail you have to put, but you can still recognize it. Like that little nose, like you instantly know it's their work. I love it too. It's like a little treat of color. Like it's you got the gray stones and then little peaks of color. Like that's so satisfying to me.
Yeah, it is.
That's like my favorite thing about art. I love making like something super gray, full of like really dark colors, and then there's just like a little spot. It's like a little relief of like super bright color.
It's like jazz music. It's like the notes you don't play, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's the imperfections in art that I find so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really fun to look at. I you know, it's like a very aesthetically pleasing pattern in all the stones that I keep looking at, like the tiling format. And then whatever material that blue is, it reminds me of like an opal or something like that.
That's exactly what it is. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
But big shout out, a lot of love over to Lorona. Was on Origin Stories, last Origin Stories interview that was released earlier this week. So been a lot of Lorona this week, and this releases tomorrow. So I'm just really jazzed about like to me personally, one of the most special things about the Artifacts project is that collision, right? It's that that incredible, like the one-of-one artwork is the artist alone, right? And you usually starts in an amazing place, and then there's that behind the scenes collision that I thought that this was a really good time to pull back the curtain and just talk about that a little bit. And actually, Odious, we did talk about that a bit for your release too, because there was another really positive collision there, which was just like, how will this be represented? How will it be tied to the one-of-one? Will it be unique from the one-of-one? How will it be brought to life? And it was another like back and forth, positively iterated, ended in a really, really cool and unique place. So I'm happy we got to talk about that a bit, and then can kind of talk about that again here with Lorona. And anyway, that's my that's the piece that I want to bring forward today.
Yeah, Dirk's an incredible artist. Seeing his process when we were like working together, he was sending me like process videos, and he would like record himself in the 3D software that he uses, and watching that like unfold was amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, those videos I love so much. I think Dirk has such a personality. Like he has an incredibly unique craft. Like again, I don't know. I'm going to try to pull that curtain back a little bit, because that process of making something look good but be optimized, right? It's one thing to build an incredibly high density 3D model. Like an incredibly high density 3D model is way easier to have like look incredible, but when you need it to real time render and like do all these things across rare rooms here, Unreal there, like that's hard, right? And then it's easy to go the other way. It's easy to go low density and have something come off looking bad, you know? And the fact that he is a magician at finding that sweet spot, and just really fun to witness.
Dude, that is a hard skill that I am just not that good at, you know, because it's combining like two, like my 3D seems so unoptimized, just like if I try to like make a full animation out of one of mine, half the time would just be optimizing everything, you know? And it's just like it seems like two like almost opposite skills is like the creative side, and then like this like very like mathematical side to balance that out, and like finding the merging point between those two gotta be tricky. I experienced it a little bit when for our Proteus John the Fuel project, when we designed a character and then 3D printed it, and you know, like I had to like learn how to optimize a little bit so the 3D printer would print it and not just like self-destruct. There's a few of those that like it would get halfway printed, and then it would just make a noodly mess of 3D wire, because it would like go over itself or like bump into itself or something while printing, and it was very frustrating and not something I'd like to do again.
Yeah, that's a whole different world. Like I'll make like a 3-second looping GIF and still struggle to optimize that for Twitter and Super Rare and all that. Like I can't imagine doing like a full 3D render of something and having to think about that.
Yeah, and then having it actually look good without like Twitter ruining with decompression.
Yeah, not my forte, but props to Dirk, dude, for sure.
Oh yeah,
he's a beast. And Jasty says on the boy front, need to make Jasty Boy happen.
I'd love that. I can see that in my head now.
Yeah,
I think it's so fascinating too. You know how Lorona has identified. You know there will only ever be 1,000 boys, and I think there will be 20 some odd more boys that will probably, that project will end up like moonlighting around the year mark from when its inception began. It's amazing, those constraints. Like I'm a big fan of positive constraints, and now you can see the end, and you can look back and you see this incredible collection of boys. Shout out to Sir Odious, right, who has an odious boy, right, and defaced as well. But it starts to like be like a scramble of like, what would be amazing? Like, yeah, Jasty boy would be amazing. Like a Chewy Stole boy. Like you can keep going with it. You're like, it would be cool this, it would be cool that.
Yeah.
And then you're staring at the end. And then obviously, Lerona has big plans overall. I don't know if you guys have seen what's coming next week. It's like
I have.
It's like, what? I'm all jazzed about, this boy that's metaverse optimized. And then Lerona's already like making moves into the subsequent weeks. It's insane.
The sneak peek for that is incredible as well. That got me so hyped.
It's for those who don't know, it's an extensive physical where there's like music reactivity to the boy that's on screen. Wow. It's just special.
Wow.
Like just absolutely special.
Yeah, like press some buttons and then like the face and like the colors in the boy light up. It's amazing.
Is there audio? That's actually one thing I don't know. Is there audio to it?
I don't think so, but there could be. I mean, it would make sense, right?
If there isn't audio, I can see the sound. Like it just it feels like it sounds like something, which is incredible. Yeah. So it kind of either way it goes, it becomes weirdly special. But awesome stuff coming over there. Jasty asked, "Is Odious coming to Art Basel?" Unfortunately, the answer is no, unless we send him the Wright Brothers plain replica. And get him over here.
Yeah.
Next year, though. Next year.
For sure, next year. Yeah.
NFT space. Why don't we just like throw some random topics on the table and break some stuff down? Actually, speaking of high effort, do you guys see the Trevor Jones Ice Cube drop on Nifty Gateway?
I haven't seen the art for that yet. Is that today?
It was
yesterday.
Oh, dude, I missed it. Damn.
I thought it was really, really good. Like getting into the artworks and their original music, which I think is a big deal. We've talked before about some NFTs where you would think there should be sound because of who's involved and there's not, and like how does that make you feel? And in this case, it was like original sound from an incredibly prominent cultural figure. I think Trevor crushed. Like it just feels high effort. It just feels incredibly high effort.
He's been working on it for a minute. I know that. I remember him.
8 months.
I remember him talking about it at least 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it comes off really authentic as well. Like it's very much still his style, even though it's, he's working with like a celebrity, right? So you're kind of, I don't know, at least with me, I'm kind of new to that. So when I started the Einstein project, I kind of, locked up a bit. I was worried they wouldn't like it. It took me a couple weeks to really loosen up and kind of, get used to it. But it's very authentic to him still.
Yeah, you got to realize there's a reason they want you. They want your art, Yeah.
Exactly.
And
I managed to pick up an open edition of this last night.
Nice. Oh, this would be an Ice Cube album cover over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sick.
And if you play these, like, there are layers to each of these artworks. Like they evolve, they move, they change. I think they complement the audio quite well. I was just impressed, like watching the NFT front to back. It's like, wow, this is an experience. So can't say enough good things about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and Trevor is also a painter as well, so I love that about him.
A what?
He's also a painter, and that's I'm a painter too, so I just love seeing painters do really well in the scene. And he's a
look at this one. This is very interesting. I was kind of like looking at the painting earlier, and I was like, it feels very AI-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see him using that to merge between these artworks right here. I think it's frame interpolation or something like that.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And even like out of the four other artworks, like there's the one that plays like a speaker. Actually, can you scroll down just a little bit?
Yep.
Oh no, sorry, that's the other.
Back over here.
The so below that, feel. Okay, so actually those two. So feel the bite. It plays like a speaker, so it kind of reverberates like a speaker as you watch it, and then speak up. It has like stacks of speakers that fall away and break down. I don't know. I'm pretty upset. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. And actually, I was angry at Nifty because I technically didn't get an open edition because it broke. Like they pushed the open edition back an hour, and I couldn't be at a computer an hour later. And so I was like, come on. But I spent a lot of time watching these artworks, so I'm just pretty happy to see those guys fly.
Yeah. Yeah, I
see. Cool.
I saw the drop like upcoming. I had like 4 minutes left, and I still didn't have like one of my past pieces in my Nifty account, so I had to transfer it. And then it went into like it was like 3 minutes into the open edition or something, and it was saying 0 editions, and I was like, have I missed it? But then they pushed it back an hour. So you couldn't grab one because it was an hour later, and I could only grab one because it was an hour later.
You know what? No, that it's fine. All is right in the universe. As long as one of us got one, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
The balance is there.
And then I also sat there and pondered. I mean, this is like the story is old as time, but I sat there and pondered like going all in on the silvers. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, they really won't be this attainable. And then it was really me. Like, I get in this weird collector mindset where I'm like, I'm either going for like all 4 silvers, or I'm hard pressed to like want 1 or 2. It feels incomplete somehow. It's a weird thing. It's like I'm sure other people go through it, but like I do have that collector, not like non-collector brain going on. And I just sat there and like literally watched the artworks be collected, and I'm like, yep, like just yes, it was always going to happen that way. And I think like you fast forward a year, and I think they'll legitimately be, like those crown jewels.
For sure.
A crown jewel collection in the space.
Yeah. I mean, this is Trevor's first project in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, he hasn't.
This last one was last Nifty, right?
Yeah, was that the one he did with Pac, or is there one in between that?
No, after that was Bitcoin Angel.
That's Angel. Mm-hmm. That was so long ago, though.
Yeah, this is all he's been working on since.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah. I love that. Like being very selective in what you do. Mm-hmm. I've kind of been doing that recently. Like I took the Einstein project, but like the next couple months I have, it's so hard, but I've been saying no to a lot of things because I just want to focus on my own work. But
same here.
We're in the spot where like we can do that, and it's incredible. So it's tough though.
I feel like this last year was full of so many opportunities that I never thought would come my way ever. Mm-hmm. And so it's been a process learning how to say no to something right now that I would have said yes to 1,000 times over a year or 2 ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I remember maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, I would like go to bed, like just hoping that I'd wake up to an email from something like a commission to paint someone's dog or something. And now it's like saying no to things is just so crazy, but yeah, I got to get used to it.
Yeah. It's it's the best thing though. It's like, it really brings out, I don't know. I'm a big fan of where the magnet pulls naturally. Mm-hmm. It almost always has the best end result. Almost always. Yeah. Like there's very rarely an instance where something competes with that, someone forces you into something, and it ends up being better. Like it just doesn't happen that way. It's like, I don't know. There's something about when you look at works where someone was like, and it comes through. It really does. And then you see something that someone was fired up about from square one. That was high effort, high passion from square one. Like it comes through. It just I don't know. It bleeds through the art somehow.
Yeah, and I think working on a project for like 8 months. Definitely highlights the conviction they have for this space. Mm-hmm. Like thinking like 8 months out that they're still going to be working on this project and the space is still going to be around. And, it's just like, it's pretty interesting.
I like hearing Ice Cube talk too. I mean, he did like an interview around this, talking about the space. And like, I think let's be clear, like, Ice Cube's got a lot, he's got a lot going on too. And I'm sure that he's not going to be like, in the trenches for to the level that maybe someone else would be. But hearing him talk about it, he seemed very genuine and thoughtful about it, right? He seemed like he was measuring his words, not in a bad way, in a meaningful way of I want to communicate with you. He was even saying I'm not up on this space as much as I might want to be, but I have taken the time, I am here, and I was careful. I didn't want to make mistakes in this space. I wanted to do things the right way. And I felt like he meant it. And I don't know. He does seem like that honest sort of cultural figure where he does care a lot about what he does. So again, I don't expect him to be in Nifty's Discord nightly, but I do expect that he legitimately has that care factor about this collaboration and maybe some next steps in the future.
I don't think Trevor would have done it if he didn't,
Yeah.
I think Trevor's at a place where he could work with almost anyone he wants to at this point. He's top 10 artist in the space, and that comes with a lot of opportunity, just like what we were talking about.
Yep.
And so the fact that he did say yes to that, I mean, what his last collaboration was with Pac, and then now Ice Cube. I feel like Trevor's the kind of guy that weighs those options out.
It's a pretty good list that's developing.
I know.
Where do you guys have a dream collab like that? Someone or a company in mind that you would have to say yes to?
Dude, I think about this from time to time. I don't know. I think it depends on maybe someone who say a band or a musical artist I listen to all the time. If they came my way, I'd still have to make sure that they were doing it with the right intentions. That was the thing. It's not an automatic yes to anyone. I don't think at this point. Maybe Kanye West, bro.
That'd be so crazy. A Kanye NFT.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I want to see a trifecta, and I'm trying to come up with the third name, and I'll get there. But I want to see a trifecta. I want to see Tool, JN Silva,
yes,
and somebody, and I want it to be this insane amalgamation of music, photography, and then maybe illustrative art would be I don't know. I think there's something that would be pure magic. I would fall all over myself for that. Alex Gray and Alex Gray of Tool album art did come into the space for a Nifty Gateway drop, but it didn't feel it wasn't a Tool drop. I'm talking about Tool, right? So maybe Alex Gray, maybe Alex Gray, JN Silva, and Tool, but with the Tool focus, that to me would melt me instantaneously.
Honestly, I could see Peter Moorbacher crushing that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes.
I know Roger likes that idea.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'd probably say yes to Grateful Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. Grateful Dead or Kanye West. That's probably the only two people, or two would almost have an automatic yes for me.
Yeah. I can't really think of one. I mean, working for Nike would be amazing. Because I used to do a whole bunch of Nike bootlegs. That was a really fun period in my art.
Fiwo has the log Nike one that you did, right?
Yeah, that was right before we all got into crypto. So that was I think I sold that for maybe $200 back then. And I remember talking to Fiwo wow, thank you so much. And they were they told me after a year after, they're I could not afford it at the time, but he was I knew I had to have it. So that's a pretty good buy.
Wow. Fiwo has really good foresight and conviction of artists that he collects. Mm-hmm. I was over at his spot when we were living in Seattle and just saw his art collection. It was you. I think he might have a Thomas Stokes original, and some other artists who he bought those pieces, those physicals from at least a year ago, if not more, and they're almost all just crushing it in the NFT space now. And same thing if you go look at his super rare collection. Same thing. Like he has some Genesis pieces and some like really early on pieces of people who are crushing it right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sam
That's,
Spratt.
I think he has an early Sky Golpe actually.
Yep.
Really?
I think so.
That's killer. I didn't know that. What did I was bidding against Fuel, one of your artworks, right? That wasn't. I feel like I remember that back in the day.
It's possible, yeah.
You got one now, though.
Oh yeah. Fuel has, let's see, a Sam Spratt who made a beautiful splash in the scene recently.
Yeah.
3 Corey Van Loos.
Yeah, one after the other. Yeah.
Black sneakers.
He has one of my first
Yosemite.
super rare posts.
Yeah.
Thomas
And that collab
Stokes.
you did with Victor was.
Yep.
I remember seeing that and thinking like, oh, this is how you do a collab. Like, it doesn't
Thanks,
have
man.
to be like all different styles and like each corner looks like that's certain artists. It's like it comes together quite cohesively.
Exactly. That was like our main mission. We probably passed that over like 10 times. We just like draw on top of each other, kind of blend together, trying to make one cohesive piece instead of like 2 pieces next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of my best memories from the scene or from the space. Like that has to be at least a year ago now. When was
That's
that?
it. That's the one.
Yeah, bittersweet.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 months ago.
Oh,
and then
Gold
yeah,
about it. Nice.
yeah. But it's such a funny story with this. So this was like a year ago. Super Rare is obviously a lot smaller than it is now, and like we're having all these issues uploading it. We had to like downsize it and all that, and we like we made this tweet like going live in 15 minutes, like hyping it up, and then we couldn't post it. And then Super Rare went down that day for like a couple hours. Oh my god, it was so stressful, but it worked out.
Yeah, that's such a
Those are
grail
good
piece
memories.
there.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, this one's epic.
Really?
Yeah,
Only 1,000 ETH reserve. Not bad.
I think it's like
Get in there.
That'll hit one day.
Yeah.
Definitely. What's 1,000 ETH right now? 4 mil.
a lot.
Yeah.
a lot is right. Yeah.
I don't even know. 2 million? 1 million?
It's dropped a bit, right?
4 mil. Yeah,
little
depending on what ETH is right now. ETH is about 4,000 flat.
Oh wow. Oh, the pieces are for sale now. They went live.
Wait, they went live?
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
A little early.
yeah. What the hell?
Only like 5 minutes early.
We didn't even get to do the ball drop countdown.
Yeah, we missed it.
Are they live?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
We'll do an honorary one.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Trying to search it right now.
Yeah, I'll have to pick up one of each.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get
Same.
my ledger.
Sam, also have to get my ledger. Living that
Yeah.
safe life.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Feel nice and secure.
I feel so much better after having a ledger. I went like way too long without getting one.
Mhm.
Terrible idea. It takes like 20 minutes to set up. It's really not hard.
It's not, no. The only problem is when I have stuff in my ledger that I need to access when I'm not home. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mhm.
But better safe than sorry. And then it also
Oh, yeah.
kind of is a buffer for me making impulsive decisions on tokens.
That's actually
And
very
also
funny.
a buffer between me spending my Ethereum too. Because if I had all that ETH in my MetaMask, it would be gone by now, bro. I'd spent it all. And now
Yeah,
I'm like,
totally.
all right, do I really need this collectible? Should I really like go through the steps of transferring ETH to my MetaMask? And then I go, if it's not 100% yes, then no, probably not.
But honestly, I'm the opposite. There's been so many times where I didn't put any ETH in my MetaMask, and I could have got a cool cat like 0.2
Oh, no.
ETH or whatever when it
Wow.
first came out, or I remember apes. That was another one. It's like they're like 2,000. Maybe I'll grab one, but didn't have anything in my MetaMask. And
We don't talk about apes here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on, there are degrees to ape, and you are at a much higher rung than me.
Oh yeah.
Remember, it is better to have aped in and aped out than not to have aped at all.
Sometimes.
That's a good point. Yeah, you still did good, Parrot.
But there's a lot of things I didn't ape into, like cool cats or toads and stuff like that, where I don't even think about it because I was like, oh, it wasn't even a possibility. But because I aped into the apes, now it just lingers. It just hurts a little. It takes a long time for your heart to heal from something like that.
Can you go over what happened? If it's not too personal.
It's not too personal. No, I minted 14 apes the night they dropped.
14? I thought you minted 2.
No, I minted 14 of them.
I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't have brought up.
And there were some really cool ones in there too. It wasn't like just floor apes. I had like a top 100 rarity, a bored unshaven pizza mouth one. I had, I think, not a gold ape, hopefully not. A zombie ape, a cyborg ape, just like a lot of things that have like 500k floor right now.
I think the floor on all of them are, or maybe it's 250k.
Yeah, I think it's 250k for the floor right now.
I'm sorry, man.
And then I was like hanging out with Lauren when everything was starting to sell, and I was like, oh, I should probably delist my last ape. And I went to OpenSea and looked, and it sold like 30 minutes prior.
No.
Like 0.8 ETH or something like that. It's the way it goes. It is possibly worth it for the story, though.
It's a good story.
It's a multi-million-dollar story.
Yeah. We're on the front page of OpenSea.
Oh, let's check that
out. Yeah, I'll do a screen share of the front page real quick.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yes, you
That's
are.
an honor.
Shout out to OpenSea.
Yeah. That spaces we did yesterday with them was awesome. They're so nice.
Yeah, we did a Twitter space with them yesterday with Lizzie and Alexander, and it was a very fun Twitter space, and the OpenSea team is so lovely and nice, and I love them a lot. And here we are on the front page. Pretty cool.
That's
the energy just felt right,
It did. That was a fun call.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
This has been fun.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
That
Always
was
love yeah. Oh yeah, it's been an hour. Wow.
Yeah, it always goes
time flies.
Crazy times.
Sometimes I'll jump on here and I'm like, oh man, I don't know what we're gonna talk about today. And the hour just always goes by like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been super fun. Thanks
Open
for having us
invite
on.
back anytime, any Thursday.
Brilliant.
I'm so down.
Yeah. Jonathan, we have to get you on here more.
Yeah.
This is only your second time.
Yeah. I would love to see what my work would look like in 3D as well.
Wink, wink. I see where you're going there, sir.
I'll leave it at that.
Well, maybe it's
awesome.
at a future date and time and place. It'll be a good reason to bring Jonathan Wolfe back on the Origin Story.
I think so. That sounds like a good time.
I like this. I like this
dope.
conversation.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be there as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Bring the boys together.
Oh yeah.
exactly. More the merrier. Guys, I love it. Watching the sales feed over here on OpenSea. See some people diving in there to grab the full sets. Love it.
Love to hear
Got
that.
Swordfish 353. Got Tasty BH grabbing a set. Good stuff.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Hell yeah. Let's
I'm about to grab a set.
Yeah, me too.
Let me grab my ledger and all that.
Yeah, let's sit here. All right, well, boys, I'll talk to you in the Discord. Roger, Next Thursday's Thanksgiving.
Maybe a random like earlier week one. I'd be down before the holiday.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'd be
maybe
down too, honestly.
maybe like a Tuesday-ish or
we skipped
Wednesday?
too many. We need to make up some slack here.
I agree. Maybe we can make it like topical and figure something out. Anyway, we'll talk about it. But for now, this is your guys' moment. So let's go. Get over to OpenSea homepage icons.
Homepage OpenSea icons.
That's
right,
Odious
All right, gentlemen.
Wolf. Bye guys.
Herodias Wolf.
Take it easy. Thanks for having us on.